Do you ever make decisions right now based on how do we beat the Chiefs? Are there specific decisions you make thinking about the Kansas City Chiefs, or is it all just how do we get this team better? How do we get this team over the hump?
Not just in totality, just about the Chiefs. I was talking to our local media after the draft. I mean, after the season ended this year, and they were like, "What do you got to do to beat the Chiefs? What's the thing?" And ultimately, I'm like, "Listen, it's a play here, a play there. We're not getting our doors blown off, and we beat them in the regular season. They beat us in the postseason. But again, you know, this year Josh gets that first down on fourth down. You know, we're up 22-21 at the time. If we continue that drive and get a touchdown, it puts a different pressure on. Maybe that one play. It's, you know, as you guys know, every game that's decided within one score usually comes down to 2 to 3 plays in a game, and so you got to be careful not to overreact. And the other part of that, Fitz, is, in my opinion, never forget how you get to the postseason, and that is win your division. That's your ticket. If we focus, in my opinion, if we focus solely just on the Chiefs or the Ravens or whoever, and we don't pay attention to how we match up in our division, then we may not get that opportunity. And so I always start with our matchups with those 3 teams, and then after that, start looking at some of the other contenders. But, you know, as I said, like, let's just say next year we made the playoffs and we feel like, man, we got this team. We're ready for the Chiefs, and we get to the AFC Championship and it's the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Cincinnati Bengals, and we lose. And I'm, you know, how idiotic do I look walking up to the podium saying, well, man, if we'd have played the Chiefs, we'd have beat them. We were ready. But it is a natural question, Fitz, to say, how do you do that? We just, you know, I firmly believe from my experience in the league and the teams that I've been on that have been to Super Bowls, that to win those games, especially as the gauntlet, the AFC, is your best players have to play their best. And that's generally what happens. And when you see those teams, and even to the Super Bowl, I would say Philadelphia's stars rose to the occasion more than Kansas City's did that day. They play 5 more times, it might be totally different, but that day they did it. And that's what we have to do if we're going to get past the Chiefs, Ravens, all these other AFC contenders to get the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you say that. We had a stretch there in LA where San Francisco had beat us, I don't know, 6 times or 7 times in a row or something. And I'll never forget our Week 18 loss to them that goes to overtime. I've always told people this. It's like when we went into those games, we were really successful during that time. We had a lot of wins, but it always felt like they played their best and we played our worst. Like, we always had all these excuses, like, oh man, they only beat us because we turned it over in the first half, or they only beat us because of, you know, X, Y, and Z happened. You know, we got this penalty. And it felt like when we lost that game, it was the first time I remember coming in on Monday morning and it was like, damn, those guys are good. Like, everybody just came in and was like, man, they're better than us. And it was like when we got that chance again in the NFC Championship, the mentality was totally different. It was, how do we scratch and claw away to find a way to beat these guys? Not, oh man, if we just like don't mess up, they might, you know, we'll be okay. It's like it flipped our mentality, and finally the team said, hey, this is about how good can we go freaking play for 3 hours. It has nothing to do with anything else. Go win this 3-hour window, and that's all it comes down to. And that's obviously a lot harder than anyone can really grasp, is every one of those little plays and how much they matter to a football game.
You just said it without saying it. It's about you more than it's about them. Like, it's you, it's your mentality going into that. We had that in Carolina. You know, we couldn't get past Seattle. Seattle kept beating us, and we were down on the road by like 10 or 11 points going into the fourth quarter. We came back, scored 2 in a row. Greg Olsen scores with like 27 seconds to go. And it was like, it gave us that confidence, like, you know what, we did it on the road. The 12s there were, you know, that was always a hard place, as you know, to go play and to win. And that place went from the loudest place in the world to, you could hear a pin drop in it when Olsen caught that touchdown. It was like, I could literally hear on the sidelines from the press box, our guys celebrate. It was like the COVID games. It got so quiet, but that's truly what it is. You need something. Y'all needed to lose that overtime game to say, all right, enough's enough. This is about us. We needed to go on the road and beat Seattle. And that's the same thing. We've done it in the regular season, but we have to go play our best game in the postseason if we don't, we're not going to beat the Chiefs. And, or like I said, we barely beat the Ravens the week before. A play or two there differently. If their tight end doesn't, Terrell Bernard punches out that ball, they're driving to take the lead on that possession. A play or two there can change a game, and especially, like I said, as deep as the AFC is right now.
Yeah, Brandon, I got to apologize. I threw my shirt off in that AFC game against the Ravens, and they went down and scored right away. So I got to do more. I got to be better. But it was one of the coolest moments for me. And then
that was sick.
Turn around and watch them go down and score. I was
March
like, what do
right
I do?
Well, Kyle did it the week before. Like Kyle did the Denver game, and I busted his chops. I said I was about to come. They marched right down the field. I was like, all right, no more Kyle Williams intros.